2 months have been really interesting for Wimby Street. So how did you come up with the idea of coming together to create the campaign?
We had spotted that the application at Wetherspoons to build 17 hotel rooms above the gatekeeper, and we realised that potentially could lead to noise complaints, which would then threaten all the music venues. So at the end of the day, if any of these venues closed, we would lose a community that we loved, but the venue and the staff would lose their business, their jobs, their homes, potentially. They need to be at the centre of the campaign.
These are the people who march down to City Hall, who've attended gigs consistently and show constant, unwavering support to the streets and the venues.
After a successful Indiegogo campaign, the moon was redecorated, rejuvenated and reopened under the ownership of the Creative Republic of Cardiff, which to this day still puts on highly successful gigs, championing local and new music.
Supporters, turn up your gigs, don't become lax and think that now because people have donated money and because they've signed a petition that the street is safe. The street relies entirely upon the audience and the crowd that come down and support it every single week.
This isn't just any venue, this is a people's venue. The metal and rock community are vital to Wimby Street.
Yeah, we're a big part of it. I mean, we do tend to go to a lot of the different venues. I mean, I started this 10 years ago because I'm into heavy rock and metal. I'm a massive Iron Maiden fan, and we just wanted a place. My long-suffering partner always makes me laugh because she says the best thing about opening a rock bar is she no longer has to have all the stuff on the walls in the house. So we have it on the walls of fuel, which is great, so the house can be normal. But
so all this came from your house?
Yeah, this is all mine. I met most of my favourite bands, which is amazing. There's only a few on my list that I sort of have to wait to meet, but we've had Bruce from Iron Maiden, we've had Phil Campbell from Motorhead. The night that Lenny died, Phil Campbell came in here and we had a little party and we raised a glass at Lenny, and that was quite incredible. We had the march on City Hall earlier this year, and we had like 1,000 people in the street. It kind of brought it home to you when you're struggling to run a venue. There are people out there that love what you do, and it makes it all worthwhile.
What message do you have to everyone watching?
If you want to step away from, I always say that Wimby Street is a small step from St Mary Street, but 1,000,000 miles away.
Right, it's starting to get a little bit more packed. Again.
Mae'n fragile o beth, achos mae gyda ti yn Gaerdydd ar ôl yr ymgyrch Wimby Street, a falle jyst bach cyn mae'r council wedi bod yn dechrau gwthio cael strategaeth da i wthio'r scene ymlaen ac i maen nhw'n dechrau maen nhw'n dechrau gweld y gwerth yn cerddoriaeth byw a faint o falle investment yw ond mae'n wahanol yn bob rhan o'r wlad. Dydy Llundain heb rili, hwnna'n wlad yn ei hun falle, ond yma mae yna rhyw statistic horrible am faint o grassroots venues sydd wedi cael lawr ers dechrau'r duniau. Mae'n sa'n gwybod, mae'n horrible, dwi'n fel hanner i mynd os o'n yw'r ffordd. Ond mae'n wahanol yn bob dinas yma.
Yn gyffredinol, clwb Ifor Bach yw'r esiampl byw o bwysigrwydd cerddoriaeth byw yn gyffredinol ac o bwysigrwydd lleoliadau llai i fandau a'i llwyddiant. Mae'n dangos faint mor bwysig yw'r lleoliadau yma, nid yn unig i'r stryd Wimby, ond hefyd y diwydiant cerddoriaeth yn y Deyrnas Unedig. Mae Hunaniaeth Caerdydd yn clwb ar stryd hon.
And so when that went, I basically was like, because this happened, we need to remind ourselves, this happened before the Women's Street campaign and before all the troubles with Fuel and the Moon Club and all that sort of thing. So when it happened, I basically said to my mate Alex, like, I want to do a map. We're sitting here in Goody Hoo now, and I said to him, look man, thinking of doing this map, like, can you draw Goody Hoo? So that was the first ever venue that he drew. Felt like we needed to bring a sense of unity between the venues, because it doesn't matter. You know, we're here tonight, there's probably about 80 people here. You know, when Ed Sheeran comes to play next year, he's going to be playing to 80,000 strong, and it doesn't matter whether you're 80 or 80,000, you're a venue in this city. You deserve to be protected, you deserve to be recognised, and you deserve to be celebrated. So that's what the map is. It's one massive celebration. The world that we live in, where everything is so dark and so glum, and people don't know, like, oh, Brexit this, Brexit that, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. Sod that. Music. It is the champion of everything that we are as humans. You think of music in perspective here, right? You have music when you're born at your christening. You have music on all your birthdays whilst you're growing up. When you get married, you have music. When you're a student, you go out and listen to music. Hell, when you die, at your funeral and wake, there's music played. You know, music is a constant in our life. It's something that we've been relatable with for many, many years. You know, to just be even considered to, you know, contributing to Cardiff, even just in a small, tiny way. I'm over the moon. I'm massively overjoyed and overwhelmed by it all.
We're seeing venues being threatened in Bristol, where the agent of change in England is in effect to some degree. And that just goes to show that you can't just have lip service to protecting music venues. You need to have something robust. You need to have something that is, you know, future-proof and actually have an effect that you wanted. I came to Womby Street about 2 years ago now, and I've been out of work for about 3 months, and I was had left a wonderful job that I truly loved, but I was extremely anxious, I was extremely depressed, and I was even suicidal. And I came to City Arms because I needed work, effectively. And what I didn't realise is that it would not just change my life, but save it. There will be communities all over Cardiff, all over Wales, all over the UK, what has helped and kept people living. It really does drive home how vital it is to fight for it.
It's only getting better, and it brings a lot more people from that side of town to this side of town.
It means a great deal to us. If it wasn't for buildings like the Castle and Gorion, we wouldn't have been able to have a full-time shop. And it's great being surrounded by other venues like Club and Tiny Rebel and the guys that are here. So yeah, it's a great community to be involved in. We'll really be here without it.
And this is a very talented drummer playing Gigs Night Goody Hoo. Luke, when you tell CTV what Womanby Street means to you, mate, is he on the camera? He is over there now, they can see you. Wait, mate, wait.
Womanby Street is the most incredible place in Cardiff, if not Wales. And for all the things that you already probably said.
So wonderful is that you walk out on the street, particularly after 11 p.m. Over the weekend, and you see all those groups kind of like melding into one. Everyone knows each other, everyone has a chat, and you look past those stereotypes, you look past sort of like preconceptions about people, and you start seeing, as a friend of mine Dan said, you start seeing people as people, I know that's far from unique to the street.
I feel like everything considered, everything that's happened in the last few months, I feel like this is really, really important for the street, and I feel like our push towards a new music venue is going to fill a gap which we've lost with venues like Dempsey's. And I hope that we can, pull it off and help some more local bands within the street. And that's what the street's all about, really. It's all about kind of fans of local music, bands, and feeling, like there is a sense of community, within Cardiff.